Hi, everyone. We are Marta and Ina from Keys2Success-Coaching, and we're so excited to welcome you to the very first episode of our Exploring Female Leadership series. In this series, we're introducing you to inspiring women who lead with courage, empathy, and authenticity, and who are reshaping what leadership looks like today.
Thank you so much, Ina, for the introduction. I'm so excited about today's first episode. We are kicking things off with a guest we both truly admire, Carla McIntosh. Carla is a powerhouse of a leader whose career journey is nothing short of inspiring. From serving in the US Air Force to launching her own business, from leading at Google to making history as Reddit's first Black executive. Carla brings power, vision, and heart to everything she does. Her story is filled with powerful lessons, and we can't wait for you to hear it. Welcome, Carla.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here.
So we are so excited to have you here. Yeah. So, Carla, to kick it off, I just talk about your remarkable and multifaceted leadership journey, right? From the Air Force to founding your own business, from Google to leading Reddit through its IPO. I would love to hear from you. What were some of your experiences that shaped the leadership style early on?
Yeah, I love this question. One of my biggest lessons I learned was early in my career in around 2003, I think it was. And I had a new hire that was reporting to me. And I really struggled with expecting this hire to solve problems in the way that I did. And they didn't. And honestly, it made me very, very frustrated with them. And it hit me. And I think it was one of my biggest aha moments as a leader. Not everyone is going to be me, nor solve problems the way that I do. And that is actually a good thing. Everyone has a different path. They have different strengths. They have different personal keys to success. And I'm really glad that that happened to me and that it happened to me so early, because it was very humbling for me. And it taught me that as an effective leader, I need to evolve my leadership style to meet people where they are. I have to make those adjustments, and I don't need to expect them to be me, nor should they be required to do so.
Love how you landed keys to success. Carla, in our pre-conversation, you described your leadership style as one grounded in empathy. And I really love how you've said that you leverage your scars to help others heal. So what does that actually look like in your day-to-day leadership?
I do love to say that I lead with empathy and with scars. In my time, unfortunately, I've had my fair share of tough seasons. And I've learned that those scars or experiences are actually tools for me. They remind me how to connect with others, how to guide instead of dictate, how to make space for people to grow through their own personal challenges. And for me, I think it's really not about protecting people from difficulty. I don't want to, what I jokingly say, I don't want to pull my team away from the wolf. I want to teach them how to handle the wolf. And what that means is arming them with a leadership toolkit. Something that allows them to assess a tough situation, how to communicate clearly, how to really ground themselves in tough moments. And what I really aim for as a leader is preparation and not protection.
Yeah, totally. Not letting somebody off the hook is sometimes the biggest service that you can do for them. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I really like that, Carla. Empowering others, right, to help them grow. Yeah, I really like it. Thank you for sharing. And Carla, in our previous conversation, you've spoken really honestly about how women regularly, right, need to wear many different hats, and also how there is no badge of honor in doing it all. What advice would you give to other women leaders, especially that are trying to manage it all?
I so love that we're talking about this. And I don't know where it starts for us as women, but, we tend to get ourselves to a place where we really take pride in being able to do everything. And we love that badge of honor, and we lead with that badge, right? We love to do so. And I think it's unfair that so many women carry this type of pressure. We are expected to juggle millions of balls and keep them in the air and never drop any. And it's just not realistic. And that mindset really comes at a cost. We're seeing, historical amounts of burnout. It ends with resentment, loss of self. And what I've learned is that instead of doing that, really focusing on prioritization. So for me, every day I decide, what is my P0 for today? What really matters today? And I always factor in my well-being, because I realize, and I've dealt with this, I cannot lead nor love well if I'm running on an empty tank.
Thank you, Carla. I completely agree with you. Prioritization is key to make things work and manage it, right? So thank you for saying that. And following up on prioritization specifically, Carla, what's your personal approach to prioritization and well-being? Especially, for example, in some of the high pressure roles, like leading a team through an IPO.
I really pride myself on beginning and ending every day with gratitude. And I realize that, I no longer have to do it all. All that I try to do is just be better today than I was yesterday. And most importantly, I realize that perfection and seeking it is simply not achievable, and it can actually be quite dangerous.
Yeah, being good to yourself, right? Carla, we're talking about like female leadership, the future of leadership, and you described 3 waves of leadership over the past few years, right? From high EQ during the pandemic to more business resilience post-pandemic, and now there is this need for leaders who can really manage polarities. Can you unpack this for us a bit?
Sure. First and foremost, all of us, this is the one place where we all deserve a badge of honor. It's making it through the last several years. But we've all gone through these seasons. Obviously, with the pandemic, at that time, I think companies needed leaders that had really high emotional intelligence, people that could really lead and bring calm and humanity during times of chaos. And then we kind of shifted, post-pandemic, and tough decisions needed to be made. So companies shifted into survival mode, and leaders had to make very difficult business calls like downsizings and restructuring. And now I think we've entered a third, place, which is really needing both leaders who can live and manage through that polarity, those who can make the tough decisions, but while holding on to visions and people. And I think people need to always understand, the business objective, of course, but I do think it's still important for leaders, regardless of how senior they are, to still take the time to know, say, the janitor's name in a company, and to be able to connect, that person's work to those big visionary strategies that the company needs to pour. So I think that that's really important. To me, that's leadership, where you make everyone a part of what you're trying to do. And so I think there's a balance of both toughness and tenderness, and it works hand in hand.
That's strong. Toughness and tenderness hand in hand. Awesome. So to wrap up, Carla, what do you hope women take away from your story and your insights on leadership?
I think, and I hope, that women see the power in their own personal journey, that you don't need to be anyone else but you, that you can lead with your own story, that your scars matter and have value, and there's strength in being able to positively leverage those as you lead organizations. I think it's also important, though, as you're trying to achieve so much, that you maintain setting those personal boundaries, and that you don't become so proud that you can't ask for help in moments when you need additional support. And I think it's okay for us to know that we can be bold in our leadership, that there's so much power in our own style. And most importantly, it doesn't have to look like anyone else's. Take power in being authentically you.
Yeah.
So inspiring, Carla. Thank you so much for your time today, for being with us, and also for sharing your journey with such an honesty and strength and heart. I think your story is such a powerful reminder that leadership is not about ticking boxes, right? Or fitting into someone else's mold. It's about showing up as your full self, right? With authenticity, as you were just saying, leading with clarity and compassion, and also lifting others as you lead. Another thing that I wanted to mention, something that really stayed with me, was your insight about preparing people or your team to face the wolf, right? Instead of protecting them from it. I have that image in my head, and it's such a strong metaphor for what a true leadership should look like, right? And also, I think your words about letting go of the need to do it all really resonated. Prioritization, right? Focusing on what really matters. I think especially for women that are constantly balancing so many different roles and so many different hats. That's a reminder, and it's so refreshing to hear from that. So thank you so much, Carla, again, for your time today.
Yeah, and to everyone watching, thank you so much for being a part of this first episode of Exploring Female Leadership with Carla McIntosh, Marta, and myself. We are releasing one interview each month, and we are featuring inspiring women who are reshaping leadership with authenticity, courage, and empathy. So be sure to subscribe, follow us on LinkedIn, or visit our website, Keys2Success-Coaching.com, and stay connected and explore upcoming episodes. We can't wait to share more powerful stories with you. With that, thank you so much.